Good evening from Washington, D.C., and thank you to those of you joining us from around the world for news from a Catholic perspective. I'm Lauren Ashburn. African American leaders, some of them, are defending a Christian baker from Colorado who refused to make a cake for a gay wedding. The case will take center stage at the Supreme Court in December. That's where we find correspondent Jason Calvi this evening. Good evening, Jason.
Good evening, Lauren. It's the due date for the lawyers for the couple to file their counter arguments with the Supreme Court. They say the baker is discriminating against gay people, and they say it harkens back to companies who refused to serve blacks during the Jim Crow era. But a group of black Christians stood right here in defense of the Colorado baker.
We have your back, Jack.
African American leaders stand up for Jack Phillips, a Christian baker.
No person should be forced by the government to violate his or her conscience. No one should be forced out of business and having his livelihood destroyed just because of what they believe.
Phillips serves up sweet treats in the Denver suburbs.
It's a place where you get artistic cakes.
Wedding cakes used to be 40% of his business. Now, to avoid fines, he doesn't sell them anymore.
The state ordered me to create cakes for same-sex weddings, which is something that goes against the core of who I am and all the things that I believe in.
The ACLU represents the gay couple who claims Phillips was discriminating.
If a bakery chooses to open its doors to the public, it can't pick and choose who it will serve based on sexual orientation or any other characteristic of the customer.
The couple's supporters link what they faced to the Jim Crow era's refusal to serve blacks. But black civil rights leaders like Clarence Henderson say it's not the same.
I just wasn't recognized as being a human being.
He grew up in the segregated South.
I sat there at that lunch counter with my life being threatened simply because I was black.
Phillips says he'll serve anyone, including gay customers, but he won't create just any cake.
Jack won't bake cakes that celebrate Halloween. He won't bake cakes with a racist slur. He's refused to design a cake for a person's divorce. The person wanted just like half of a wedding cake, and he declined to make that cake because of his religious beliefs.
Jack Phillips' attorneys are also presenting this case as a free speech issue that the government is trying to force an artist to create art in a certain way. Lauren, the ACLU says not every creative job should be exempt from non-discrimination laws.
Jason, we can expect this to hit the Supreme Court later this year?
The Supreme Court will have oral arguments for this case in December. We expect their decision by the end of the term in June, and they'll be looking at the briefs filed in this case, including from a number of Catholic groups in support of the baker, including the U.S. Bishops' Conference, Catholic Vote, as well as the Thomas More Society.
Correspondent Jason Calvi, thank you so much.